Did you know that a single note can have different identities depending on its melodic context? This is exactly the case with Makam Neva and Pençgah. Two makams that share the same fret but follow different paths. In today's episode, we'll explore how these makams function, their characteristic phrases, and how they are used in Turkish classical music. If this video is your first time, welcome to the Exploring Makam Music educational video series. In this channel, I've been creating videos on makam music theory, improvisation, we say taksim, instrumental masterpieces and oud lessons to help musicians or enthusiasts to dive deeper into rich world of Turkish classical music. Don't forget to check my old videos. You can probably find something valuable and helpful for you. If you find this content valuable, make sure to subscribe to stay updated on new episodes every Monday. Don't forget to like the video and leave comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts and answer your questions. Neva is one of the most important fret and makam in Turkish classical music, often serving a pivotal stopping point in many melodic structures, like a junction. It corresponds to D, Re note in many fret systems, not only Rast fret system, but today we are going to talk about these two makams on Rast fret system. Let me explain Neva fret and makam first, then we talk about Pençgah, because Pençgah comes from Neva, or Pençgah has Neva inside, that's why. So basically, if a melody uses the notes between Dügah, La, and Gerdaniye, which is Sol, in Rast fret system and stop or ends on Neva note without stopping any other notes, that melody called Neva. Okay, here's a tip. There is Fa sharp in normally Rast fret system, but in Neva system, a Neva melodic system or makam, doesn't matter Fa sharp or Fa natural, both can be used. And also composer used, or we use Do sharp sometimes as well. When we use Do sharp, it turns like minor cadence. Let me play some common Neva sentence you can understand better. Re, la, si, do, re, or re, la, si, do, re, do, re, kind of melodies. Re, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re. Or re, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re. Do sharp, re. Mi, sol, fa, la, sol, fa, mi, re. So, mi, sol, fa sharp, sol, la, sol, fa natural, like 1 comma, 2 natural slide. Fa, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do sharp, re. These are Neva melodies. Let's check Pençgah. Pençgah also corresponded to D, Re note, so as Neva, but its identity is shaped by its melodic surrounding or different resonation, we can say. The key distinct between Neva and Pençgah lies on the intervallic relationship. So if we do Re, La, Si, Do, Re kind of melody, it's called Neva. So we hear Neva, but because of fourth interval, so Re, La, or La, Re, Mi, Re kind of melody, that gives us Neva. But if we do a relation with Sol instead of La, so Re, Sol, Si, Do, Re, Mi, Re, Sol, Re kind of melody, so between Sol and Re, so fifth interval relation, it comes as Pençgah. So we hear, or it sounds Pençgah. So remember again what Pençgah meaning. Penç means 5 or fifth, and gah means place or house, home, land. So it means fifth place or fifth degree in musical terminology. So between sol, la, si, do, re, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That note comes, so re, sol, la, si, do, re comes fifth place in Rust fret system from Rust. All melodies, all characteristic melodies, that's why called Penchgah. Again, let me give you some sample sentence to hear difference. Sol, mi, re, re, that's very unique. Re, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re, sol, re, do, sharp, re, sol, re, do, re, that gives Penchgah. Do sharp even. Sol, mi, re, do, si, la, sol, re, mi, re, do, si, la, sol. These are Penchgah because it comes from fifth and use Rust notes or Rust fret system notes to make a sentence as descending. So sol, mi, re, fa, mi, re, do, si, la, si, sol. So this is not Rust. Even in Rust fret system sounds close to Rust. It's Penchgah because it comes from re. That's why it comes from fifth degree. So the fifth degree it's home. If it comes from home, we say it comes from that home, and that home named as Penchgah. That's why we call Penchgah. So you can hear the difference, right? If you have any questions about it, let me know in the comments, please. I'm happy to answer your questions. What are their terkips and melodic structures, seyirs then? As you can hear, both makams mainly aim to stop on Neva note, Neva fret. So, but the difference is ends, their ends. So it starts around Neva, and Neva goes to Dugah as kind of uşak, but segah fret should be 1 comma. But Penchgah goes to sol, Rust note, with Rust makam, again segah note, of course. So these are the main difference. So ends are different. Let's take a look at Neva Terkip first. First of all, we need to do Neva makam. Then it goes to its brother H, as I mentioned in my previous video, in segah video. Neva and H like inside each other, like they are like brothers. After doing H, it goes to H and it comes back to Neva. Then it uses uşak, but there is no uşak fret, not with uşak fret. It should be segah fret. After maybe 1930s, 1940s, some melodies needs 2 comma, but still if we can play 1 comma, if it comes when you play 1 comma in Neva song, the uşak fret, I mean segah fret, if you play 1 comma and if it irritates you or sounds not right for you, try 2 comma because of the composer's understanding of Neva. That's why we need to check 1 comma or 2 comma before playing the note or playing the piece. If you memorize the piece or if you already learn by heart the piece, that's fine. You can play correct pitch, correct fret. So this is a short version, short seyir structure for now. We will go deeper in the future. So what Penchgah Terkip does then? Basically, Penchgah Terkip contains 3 makams: Neva, Isfahan, and Rust. Sometimes Nishabur, Isfahan, Nishabur, we talk about these are close each other. We can use both. So it starts with Neva. Some composers start with Isfahan or Nishabur as well, but basically it starts with Neva. So it's stay on Neva note and do some Neva melodies. Of course, in the melodies you can use Isfahan or Nishabur as well. Nishabur kind of like not exactly modulation, but you can show those makams. Meanwhile, we need to show, of course, show the Penchgah. How we can show? So we can use sol. When we stop on re, sol, fa, mi, fa, sol, la, sol, fa, mi, fa, mi, re, do, si, do, re. Even we use Isfahan. After that, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, si, do, re, sol, re. If we use sol, re, that jump, we say we are doing Penchgah, not Neva. So we need to put something like this or re mi re do si la si do re kind of melody to make or show the relation between sol and re to say we are doing Penchgah or the piece is in Penchgah makam. Okay, that's most important part to separate from Penchgah, separate Penchgah from Neva. So after that, after showing those or using Neva sentence, Isfahan sentence, Nishabur sentence, we can go to Evch again as a modulation because there is Neva. If there is Neva, you can go to Evch. And if there is Evch, you can go to Neva. So these are like inside each other and easy to move each other. Oh, okay. So after doing this modulation, go to Evch. The melody has to come back to Neva first. Then use some, again, Isfahan or Nishabur melodies. And at the end, you have to definitely use Penchgah melody. So you can think like descending rust melodies from re or mi. So re mi re do si la sol, re mi re do si do si la sol fa sol. But there is an important thing. Even it use, we can say rust, but it's not exactly rust. It's close to rust because it's Penchgah. Because the melodic structure is descending, not ascending. So remember, rust is ascending structure, has ascending structure, but Penchgah has descending structure. So re mi re do si la sol fa sol. This is the fa sharp Iraq note. It's lowest note. It doesn't go below that. So rust can go to yagah even sol fa mi re mi fa sol fa la sol something, but Penchgah doesn't do that. That's two different characters of makams, two different makams. So in Penchgah, if we do re mi re do si la sol fa mi re, if you do that, it turns to rehavi makam. It has another. There is another terkip. I don't want to confuse now, but there is another terkip. You shouldn't go to yagah when you do Penchgah. Okay, that's important point. So let's briefly clarify the terkips. Neva terkips does Neva, Evch, then back to Neva again, then Uşak on Dugah, but with Segah fret. Stop on Dugah. Okay, Penchgah does Neva, Isfahan, Nishabur, use inside, then go to Evch as a modulation, then come back to Neva, again the composer or up to you, you can use Isfahan or Nishabur, then use Penchgah melody, like this descending rust melody, which is called Penchgah melody, use Penchgah melody, go to rust fret, sol, G note, but not lower than Iraq note, fa sharp. Okay, so re mi re do si la sol fa sol, that's the maximum lowest note. Okay, let's analyze three pieces. I chose three pieces. Let's analyze three pieces that highlight their unique characteristics. First piece I chose is called Yine Bağlandı Dil Bir Nev Nihale by Zekai Dede. This is very popular Neva song, and if you memorize it, it reminds you what Neva is. Okay, let's have a look at first. I'm gonna check first three lines until the repetition. So there is first bar, re la sol do si do re. Even it touched sol, but still it is still on Neva. So re la sol do si do re. Re sol fa sharp re mi re. That give us Neva. Meanwhile, I need to state that in like 15th, 16th century, 14th century, we have, as mentioned, those dates. We have some notes like from Kantemir Edvar, so Kantemir's handwriting or book, let's say. There are some melodies or there are some Neva songs or Husseini songs. Neva song, there is like it stops on Neva. It doesn't go to Dugah even. Or Hüseyni song. It's start around Hüseyni and stop on Hüseyni. That's it. It doesn't go with like Uşak on Dugah. It stops on there. So those songs give us what is original makam. So here, first repetition, first 4 bars give us what neva is. Re, la, sol, do, si, do, re, sol, fa, re, mi, re. That's it. That gives us neva. If you memorize even that part, you can easy to remember what neva is. So continue. Fa mi fa sol mi re do si sol fa re mi re. Again, use some melodies on based on neva. Do si do re la sol fa mi re do si la. This one, so re do do si la. I need to bend slightly, but I need to press 1 comma and then slide to 2 comma. Do si la, do si la. So re mi do si la. So that's Uşak part of neva. Okay. Let's have a look the second piece, which is called Ey Gonca Dehen by Dede Efendi. Meanwhile, there is a really famous Nevakar by Itri. I don't want to get in because it's long piece, and you can check it yourself. I put the link in the description. So it starts with last 2 beats. So re. I don't want to play in tempo. Just I want to show what it is. Re mi fa mi re do si do re. So what it does, first give neva. So that says this part, first 2 notes, long neva notes, give us it's doing neva. The piece is neva. That's enough for us. Then it does Isfahan. Re mi fa mi re do si do re. Re mi fa. So it is, as you can see, it reached to fa. It goes to H. Brief modulation, very short. Like you can think even touch that note to how can I say, like emphasize important notes in the scale. Fa sol fa mi fa sol fa mi fa sol fa mi re. That's neva, very basic neva sentence. Mi re mi fa sol fa mi re fa sol fa la sol fa mi re. Again, stay on neva. So it's a long sentence, but based on neva. Then mi re sol fa mi fa sol. It goes to Gerdaniye, but stays on. Still the melody stays on neva. Even go to Gerdaniye, it comes back to neva. So instead of H, it went already H. So end of first line. Re mi fa. It shows H. Then as a second step, it goes to Gerdaniye instead of H. It's composer choice. So we are middle of the third line. Sol fa mi fa sol fa sol la sol fa sol fa mi 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 re. Back to neva. Mi fa sol fa mi la sol fa mi re. So as you can see, and re do si do re. This is very common and basic neva sentence. Re do si do re. You can hear in Uşak, Beyati, Karciğer, Rast, in many makams. Okay, this is very unique neva melodies. Okay, this is the piece. You can check all piece. I don't want to make you confused. Just I want to show you what is neva, original neva, and how it moves. So once you understand neva, it's easy. And once you understand neva, and once you understand other relative makams separately, then you can merge them easily. Okay. Let's have a look at the Penchgah piece. I chose just one Penchgah. You can see everything on that piece. It's called Payı Yare Düşmeye Ayardır by Itri. Let's have a look at it. We will check just first 5 lines to 5 lines. Yes. So it starts with Re, long Re. It gives Neva, bakın. Look. Re, Re, Mi, Re, Do, Re. Do natural. It gives Neva. Start with Neva. Re, Mi, Fa, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Fa, Re, Mi, Re. What it is? This is basically Neva. La, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re. This is not rust on Neva. That's important. This is not rust on Neva. La, si, la, sol, si, one comma, not natural. La, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, do, re. Sol, re, do, re. It gives Penchgah here. Sol, re, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, re. Again on Neva, but it does sol, re jump. That it made the relation between sol, re. It shows it's doing Penchgah. Beginning of third line, we are do, re, mi, re, do, charga. Do, re, do, si, mi, re, do, si, la, do, si, la, sol, Penchgah. Mi, re, do, si, la, do, si, la, sol. This is not rust. Mi, re, mi, re, do, si, la, sol. Very close to rust. It's basically, yeah, if you think these are all a family, this is rust, of course, if we accept all these a family. Rust is the mother of those. That's why we called rust mother of all makams. Okay. Fourth line. Si, la, sol, then re, mi, re, do, re, do, si, la, sol, mi. That jump, Penchgah jump. Sol, mi, re, do, si, la, sol. As you can see, there is no like rust melodies. This is slightly different. Very tiny difference. Sol, mi, re. So this is the last sentence. See the last sentence. Even we say rust, there is rust, but it is Penchgah. Sol, mi, re. That's the melody, Penchgah melody. Sol, mi, re, do, si, la, sol. So if we do rust, for example, instead of this end, if we do rust end, if we come from last bar of previous line, si, do, si, la, sol, la, si, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, si, la, sol, fa, sol. That is the rust end. Okay, can you see the difference? So if we do rust end, it goes different direction. If we chose like this Penchgah end, it goes different direction. These are the paths. So you can think, as I mentioned before, but again I want to say it. So these are like rust, Penchgah, rehavi, neva. These are all kind of like children of a house. So rust is mother, let's say, and she has children's, but each one has its own character and its own choice to walk or path to walk. Okay, so that's why we called them differently, because their character is different, their actions, their behaviors. Okay, that's main understanding of makam music. If you look at like this to makam music, you can understand easy. It's very easy, but the theoretical system, if you don't look at the melodical side, if you look at just theoretical side like TKST, like 9, 4, 5, something, if you get in there, if you get in the mathematics side, you can't do music, and it's kind of discouraging. right? It doesn't encourage you to learn or discover it. If you look at the melodic side, if you analyze the pieces like this, you can understand the music, and also this kind of actions or behaviors, let's say. But I always love analyzing piece. I learn something new from that piece. So for example, if I look at first this piece, I can say, oh, there is, okay, that starts with Neva. It should be start. If it starts with Neva, I can say, if there is no written Penchgah, oh, okay, this is Neva song. But if I continue, so if I not look at just first line, if I continue and finish the lyrics first line until second line almost end, yar, that's sol re, then I can think, oh, there is sol re relation, and it does Penchgah. There is Penchgah. Even it starts with Neva, both starts with Neva, and but there is sol re relation. Neva doesn't have this. Even la re, very rare, almost at the end, or just at the beginning, touch once, re la si do re, as Zekai'de did. Then it goes back to Neva, and it takes the base on Neva. Okay, these are main difference and closest parts, Neva and Penchgah. Well, Makam Neva and Pençgah showcase how Turkish classical music is deeply structured yet full of expressive possibilities. Understanding their differences will not only improve your playing, also enhance your improvisation skills in any music kind, not just classical music, Turkish classical music or Makam music. You can use same things in your music as well. If you like to support my works, please click the like button and share my videos with your friends. And also don't forget to visit my Bandcamp page for exclusive recordings and music related products, and also check out my Buy Music shop for original designs. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode. Take care of yourself and keep exploring Makam music. Bye bye.